Everyone can take a photo, right? You just hold up the camera, press a button, that's it. However, taking a photo that's considered beautiful or interesting is a little bit more challenging. That's why today in this video I'm going to share some simple strategies that you can apply to your photography today to take better photos immediately. My first tip today is to work on your composition skills. So sometimes photographers just get lucky, they take a photo and it turns out to be nice, but much more often a beautiful photograph is the result of a deliberate and intentional composition. Luckily, learning to compose a beautiful image won't require much effort at all. There are some really simple guidelines that are easy to apply once you know them. So here are my favorite composition rules and tips. Number one, probably the most well-known one, is to apply the rule of thirds. So if you want to apply the rule of thirds, next time you take a photo, just imagine your photo divided into thirds, horizontally and vertically. So you're kind of creating this mental grid, and then you place the subject or whatever you want to be the focus of the image at the intersecting points of this grid. It sounds a bit theoretical, but once you get the hang of it, you do it automatically. And this composition rule really works well because the subject is a bit off center, which is visually quite interesting. Then the next composition rule I would like to share is to look out for symmetry. This simply means that you create a picture in which some or all the elements are symmetrical in some way. This type of composition works really well because the human brain just loves symmetrical stuff. It has a very calming and harmonious effect. There's a really nice way to create symmetry in your pictures actually, and that's to look out for reflections in puddles or in lakes. And you see here that because of the reflection, the images are automatically symmetrical. Right, another composition tip is to look out for leading lines. If you're wondering what that is, that simply refers to lines in the picture that lead the eye of the viewer from one point of the image to another. You can see it quite well in these examples here. Once you look out for them, you will see these leading lines everywhere. Good examples are train tracks, lamp posts, architectural lines of buildings, rivers or bridges. Another composition rule I personally love is looking for negative space. In photography, that simply refers to the blank or empty spaces around the subject in the photo. You can see the examples here. I really love this effect because it really emphasizes the subject because you have nothing else around it basically. And so the viewer's eye goes directly to the subject. And you can also use negative space to convey a certain mood. For example, look at this photo I took at a beach. It creates a sensation of loneliness, you know, that he's the only guy at this beach. And I think that can be really interesting visually. Just a little interruption to say I would appreciate it so much if you could subscribe to my channel so I can make more content like this. Next tip for taking better photos is to really strategically use natural light. First of all, if you're taking photos outside, always pay attention to the time of day. You probably know already that the light is particularly beautiful for photos during the golden hour and the twilight hour. So in the very early morning hours and the kind of dusk hours. That's because during those hours the sunlight is much softer and warmer and therefore creates a beautiful glow in your images. The next thing you can do if you're working with natural light is to look out for interesting shadows. So in that case, it might actually work really well to shoot during noon when the sun is really high, because then you get super harsh, strong shadows and you can create high contrast images like this one. Another thing you can do for interesting photos is to look for shadow patterns, you know, for example, from window blinds or from plants, anything that creates a visually interesting shadow. So in that case, you're actually making the shadow the subject of your image, which can be really beautiful. And then my next tip for more beautiful, more interesting photos is to use presets, filters, and color grading. So I'm sure you know, when you scroll through Instagram, you see those beautiful aesthetic feeds where all the photos have a similar style. Now, if you want to achieve that sort of look, you can either learn how to color grade your images or just use pre-made filters and presets. So let's talk about filters first. Pretty much any editing app these days has filters, even Instagram has them. I like using the filters in Photoshop. For example, here, if you go down to adjustment layers, you can see this menu item, which is called color lookup. And these are actually preset filters basically that will give your image a very different look. For example, you can make it look like film stock, or you can make it look like candlelight and so on. So definitely play around with these. Next, you can actually use physical filters if you have a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera where you can put something on the lens. I like these ones. They are called soft focus filters and they give your photo a really soft, dreamy look. It looks like it was shot in like 1940s Hollywood or something. And then, of course, if you're using Lightroom, you may already be familiar with so-called presets, which is again just a template of certain color grading settings. You can either create them yourself, or if you're a beginner, you can buy other people's presets, for example, on Etsy or other marketplaces, and then you just apply these presets to your images. However, long term, I would recommend that you actually learn how to color grade yourself, It's really not that hard, and also you have way more creative control and you save money on those presets. If you do want to learn how to color grade, I wrote a whole blog post, which I will link below. I also recently recorded a Photoshop color grading tutorial. I will link it here. Then my next tip for more aesthetic, more beautiful photos is to, I call this take a photo of something, not everything. To illustrate this, I want to show you 2 photos I took recently on a walk. Here's the first one. This is just a crossing. And so you can see I didn't really take a photo of anything in particular. So the eye doesn't know where to go. The viewer is confused because you don't know what I'm trying to say. Whereas look at this picture, which is exactly the same crossing, but I did focus on only the markings on the road. So here I'm introducing a clear topic, which is, you know, sort of shapes, diagonal lines, that kind of thing. And it makes for a better picture because it's not so confusing for the viewer. I've taken it with more intention, basically. So that's what I would advise you to do as well. Always think about the why behind your picture and what you're actually trying to say with it. Okay, the next tip for more beautiful pictures is to either add grain or just shoot on film. Because I think that often when people say that photo is really beautiful, what they like about it is that sort of retro film aesthetic, meaning it has some kind of grain. And the easiest way to achieve this, of course, is to actually shoot on film. So get a nice old camera like this one. You can get them super cheap these days on eBay. Or if that's not your thing, you can also add noise in Photoshop. Just open the photo in Photoshop, then go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise. So even though that's fake grain, it will still give the photo a nice retro look. And then my last tip to create more beautiful photos is to be really strategic about how you use color in your images. For example, you can create really nice pictures by focusing on a sort of monochrome look so that everything is in one color. Or if you're out and about shooting, look out for complementary colors, for example, that can look really striking if it's red and green, yellow and purple, or blue and orange. You could even think about color psychology a little bit and try to create a certain mood in your image through the use of color. For example, blue is usually associated with feeling a bit sad, a bit melancholic. So if you take a picture of the ocean, for example, on a super cloudy day, you can play with that by increasing the blue tones a bit in the image in Photoshop and really going for that sort of melancholic vibe. Also always try to be intentional about whether you want the colors in your image to be saturated or more like faded and desaturated. You can adjust all of this stuff in Photoshop as well by using the saturation or vibrance sliders. And if you do this often enough, you will eventually notice that you start to develop some kind of style. You know, some people love saturated, bright colors. Other people work more with sort of pastel colors. So try to be really intentional about these things and you will notice that your photos will become better automatically. That's it. Make sure to subscribe. See you next time.